Hey guys, welcome back to Bait and Tackle. I'm your host, Joe Frank, and today is going to be another organizational video. I've got the second wall up of my IKEA SCOTUS, and I've got a whole bunch of bins that I printed out and made, and I think I've been actually posting a couple pictures and stuff like that of these drawers and bins on Instagram. I don't know if you've been following me or not, but check that out. Go follow me on Instagram. I'll actually put that right here. But we're going to talk today about, I started hanging up my bags of hooks, and I decided I'm not really a big fan of doing these bags anymore. So I figured, you know what? Let me print out a whole bunch of drawers, and I'll start organizing these hooks in drawers and labeling the drawers as to what they are. So another attempt at getting more organized so I can find things easier. I have so many hooks in this shop, it's ridiculous. So I'm trying to figure out the best way to do it. I may not show you the entire video of me organizing all these, but I wanted to get a jump start and show you what I have built over here on the bench. So let me get you over here and we'll take a look at this thing. Okay, so we'll start this off like over here just so I can kind of explain what I did here and why I did it. So I have these little drawers down here in the bottom, okay? And let me take one of these out so I can show you, because the bottom ones are actually locked in place. The bottom row right here is locked in place because there's little tabs you can get, and it's on this one right here. I know you can't see it, but there's little tabs that keep the drawers from coming out. So I decided to not do that on the second row. So the second row, you can actually pull the drawers right out, which is great because then that way I can just pull them out and put them right back in. Okay, that's the idea. But this top row of these bins is actually one drawer, one open drawer. The bottom ones are actually two bins and one drawer. And I did that on purpose because I have a lot of really small hooks that I'm going to put on the very bottom row. So all of my tiny hooks are going to be down here on the bottom. And what I mean by tiny is I mean like size 8, 6, 4, 2, and 1s. I'm not going to put anything 1/0 or larger is going to go in these bigger bins. So the other thing that I did was I made all these little drawers here. And what it is it's a 3-drawer system per unit. Okay, and let me show you the unit right here. So this is the unit right here. It goes on the wall, and you'll see in here there's these 2 holes, okay? So those holes, let me give you a closer look. Those holes, you actually take these little tabs right here, and I'm going to modify these. I'm going to show you what I do to modify those. See this little tab right here? So let me get you a better view. See this little tab right here? So what it does is the little end tab goes through that hole right here, okay? Goes through that hole and then goes into the back plane, the actual SCOTUS board, and then you twist it sideways and it locks it in place, okay? So you put it in and then you twist it like this so it's sideways and it holds it in place and it won't go anywhere. Now, the one thing I noticed with this 3D printed stuff is sometimes it's a little bit tight. The tolerances are just a little bit too tight. So what I have to do is I have to take these tabs, and this is the part, the longer part of the tab is actually the part that sits inside. Oh, and my printer just finished printing another one of those. But this is the inside of the actual holder that goes, facing me when it goes into the thing. But I noticed that this corner, these little corners right here are a little bit too tight. So I just cut off a little bit and make it angled. See it? So it's angled now. That's what I do. I just cut off a little bit. And this is mostly solid, so you're not really affecting the actual strength of it. It's really not a big deal. So that's what I do right there. Just trim those 2 tabs off. So I'm going to bring you a little bit closer, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to put one of these in place because I've got 3 bins just sitting here. I'm going to bring you into this closer, get rid of my face here, so you guys can see this a little bit closer. I want to show you, how effective this is and how actually neat this is for organization. So I wanted to show you this so you guys can see it. So the bottom ones, like I said, they don't come out all the way. There's little stoppers to hold them in place, but you see how there's a little separator in the middle? So there's 2 bins for all my smaller hooks. So this whole bottom row across the bottom, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bins across the bottom. So I've got enough for 14 of the really small hooks baskets. And what I'm doing is I'm actually putting labels on there of what the brand hook is, the model number, and then the sizes that are in these bins. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to get these organized so we can do that. So what I'll do here is I'm going to show you first how to install one of these 3-bin holders. And you'll see it right there. See, it just sets right in there. And the beauty of this is it fit perfectly on the SCOTUS board, the pegboard, that it fit right on there and went right down on top of this row. So everything is nice and tight, and you know what I mean? It's not super loose. These still come out because I want them to come out. Like I said, the smaller bins, I really don't want them to come out, so I'll just open those up and take the hooks I need. But this whole row is just single bins that, and I don't think this one will come out either because I can see the little tab holding it in, but that was one of the last ones I made. So I want to show you how these work, but to get you a little closer here. But do you see those slots? This is what I'm talking about. So here's the key. You put the key in the hole, and you may have to push a little hard to get it in there, but not actually, that one went in there perfectly. And then you got to do it on the other side. And I know you can't see me do this one because my hand's in the way. But see how those keys are, now they're through that piece that holds the shelf, but they're also through the pegboard in the back. So what I do is I take a pair of just the needle nose pliers, because sometimes you get a little bit difficult to turn. You grab this and you turn it, and that locks it in place. Okay, nice and easy. See that? So it's in there, nice and tight. It's not going anywhere. It may shift up and down a little bit, but that's okay. It's not going anywhere once the bins are in. Okay, so I've got 3 bins here. And by the way, the print for these, you have 2 styles. Excuse me. You have 2 styles. So you can print this holder that holds the 3 bins, and there's like a hash mark on the side so you can cut down on plastic. But I figured for durability, I wanted the solid. So I picked the solid one. There's 2 options. Okay. And then also the bins come in 2 options. It's 100 and I can't remember what the millimeters is, but it tells you, I think it's 120 or something like that. I can't remember what it's, but it has to do with the thickness of the bin. So this bin is fairly thick. It's going to hold up fine with hooks in it. This other bin, the first set of bins that I made, which is this one, look how flimsy this is. See it? See how much I'm shifting it with my hands? It is super, super flimsy. And I want to say that was like the 80, I don't remember. It was like 80 and like 120 or something like that. There's quite a bit of difference. This one has some flex, but not nearly the flex that other one has. I mean, this one is just like, you know what I mean? I could squeeze this and break it so easy. So I just left this one alone just so I could show you guys how that works. But I'm going to go ahead and install this other bin right now. Same thing. And then I've got the holder, and then I've got 3 more bins. I've got 3 more bins printing right now on the printer. So hopefully by the time we're done with this video, I'll have one more set of bins to put in. And now you see how this is kind of a little high? Just push it down. And like I said, everything just stays nice and tight. And these bins are a little bit loose, so they're perfect to just put a bunch of hooks in and just push them in, and there you go. But the beauty of this is I can label all these drawers, put the label of the name of the hook that I want on there. See that one down there, VMC? And then it says what style it is, and then I've got size 2 on this side and size 1 on the other side. So pretty neat. This is going to be a really, really good organizational video, just so that I can organize my hooks. Now, these bins have a have a drawer piece that ties to the back. It's got 3 little pegs to hold it in place. You push it down in and lock it in, and then you're supposed to take these and push them in the rest of the peg hole on the top to keep them down so they don't move. And then these are the little tabs that go in the top to keep the drawer from coming out. So on the top row here, I omitted these because they were going to be in the way of the shelf housing here, hitting the top of that. So I just did not put them in. And like I said, they're not going anywhere. They're nice and tight in there. They're not going anywhere. So I just saved those pieces just so I could show you guys what that does. But I'm just going to go ahead and tuck these underneath for now. And there's just a tiny bit of room underneath that. See it? Underneath here. So I'm not sure if I'll store something underneath there or just leave it kind of open. Probably leave it open for now. But that's the idea, guys. So this is what we're doing. That's what I came up with so far. And I'm going to continue this row across. So I need to make 2 more of those. And then I'll see, I'm going to reevaluate where I'm at once I fill these bins in with the hooks that I have up there. Because you got to think, I've got all those hooks up there in bags, all different sizes, all different types. And then I've got all these down here that I'm working on right now. And there's my little label maker that I'm going to be using to make the labels. And then I've also got some hooks down here still, some eagle claws and mustads. And then I've got a whole wall over here of, I think those are mostly spinnerbait hooks. So I've got to find a place for those too. And I'm going to have some oddball hooks too. Some really weird different size ones that I haven't used in a long time. So again, we'll get down this road as best we can. I think what I'm going to do now is kind of set you up and just do like a speed run video of me, like, you know, stocking the shelves and printing out some labels and that kind of stuff. And then we'll get back and we'll try to wrap this up. But I'm going to try to put as many hooks in these bins as I can today. And if I don't finish it on this video, I won't. But I really wanted to show you that. I thought that was kind of cool. Nice little organizational thing you could do. So let me get this going, and we'll be back to wrap it up. Okay, so some things I'm noticing. I've got about probably half of it filled right now. One thing I'm noticing is that the smaller compartments on the bottom that I did and separated where there's 2 separated compartments, I should have made another row of those. So I'm thinking that I'm going to finish doing what I'm doing as much as I can, but the bottom 2 rows, I think I'm gonna bump one of them up, and then I'm gonna maybe add one more of the double layer down across. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I do have a fair amount of like size 1 hooks and then like 1/0s that probably would go perfect in 2 bins. So I think I'm gonna do that. I've got a bunch of those. And then I've also got, I've got a whole bunch of like size 1s and stuff like that. So I've got a fair amount sitting here on my desk right now. Actually, probably just one more row. And actually, you know what? I'll probably just go ahead and just do the single, not the doubles. So I'll just do one more row of singles. I'll put the one row of singles in there, raise everything up one, and then that way what I can do is get the small ones taken care of, and then I'll continue doing like 2/0, 3/0, 4/0 in the ones that I'm making right now, which I have a ton of those. So I'm going to try to continue doing those, the 2, 3, and 4s, and I need to make at least two more of these 3-row bins, and that might be close for those. But I'm also thinking I need to get something that's got bigger bins in it, even bigger than what I've got there now, because when I start doing my 5/0, 6/0, 7/0, 8/0, and I've even got some 9/0 hooks, I know I've got those. They're swim bait style hooks that I use for making like little underspin, or big swim bait hooks with underspins on them and that kind of thing. So I'm going to have to get some bigger bins than even what these are, just to fit the bigger hooks in them. Okay, and I know I've got some like oddball sized ones that I need to do as well. So I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing right now, but I can already tell you right now that I'm going to make changes. So that's kind of the one thing you get that's cool about this, is that I can 3D print what I need. And I knew that I wasn't quite there, but I wanted to do a video to show you guys this, because then that way you can break it up into pieces. You can start doing a little bit. That's the beauty of the 3D printers. I can print what I need. And I figured, you know what, I'm going to print a bunch of these, but I'm not going to print too many because I don't know how many I'm going to use and if I'm going to like them yet. So I knew what I wanted to do. One bottom row of the two separateds, and then the next row is just going to be open little containers, and then the next one up was going to be all these 3 drawers. Now the 3 drawers seem to work great in the 2, 3, 4/0 range. The little ones on the bottom that I've been doing seem to be great for like size 6, 4, 2, 1. And then that's probably about as well as that's probably about as much as I'm going to do for those. So like I said, I'm going to do one more row of those small ones, lift everything up, which is going to be a pain in the butt to move everything, but well worth it. I want to make sure that it's organized right, and it's the way I want to see it, right? So I'll do that. I'll move everything up one level. I'm not going to do it in this video, but I'll do it in the next one probably. And we'll continue building this out. So I'm going to go back to a little bit more speed run and show you guys me filling up more of the bins, because I've still got a ton of hooks to put in these bins, and I know I can at least fill these bins today. It will not take me that long. So let me do that, and then we'll come back and we'll reassess and just reevaluate, and I'll tell you my grand master plan, because I've been kind of thinking about it while I've been filling the bins. So I'm just going to keep doing that, trying to keep not certain types, but like kind of doing that, like kind of keeping the 90-degree angle hooks, jig hooks in one section, and then like certain angles at a different section kind of deal. I'm trying to do that a little bit, but at the same time, I'm just trying to group everything together in that style. Then that way they can, or that side, or you know what I'm saying, the actual part number, like Gamakatsu's got their 604. I use those a ton for my underspins. That's all I use on my underspins is Gamakatsu 604s. So those, I'm trying to keep them together, right? And then I want to keep similar hooks together that are kind of the same. But if it's a different size class, like 5, 6, 7/0, like going way up there size wise, I want those in bigger bins, because I know those are bigger hooks. They take up a little bit more room. I probably could get away with doing the 5, 6, 7s, even the 8s maybe in these bins, but I'm thinking especially the 7s and 8s, they're going to take up a lot of room because bigger hooks. You got about, if you order them by 100, which I typically do, you're gonna take up a lot of room with those bigger hooks. So. And 5/0s, I usually keep a bunch on hand, like 100 to 200, just because that's kind of the main size that I make is 3/8 ounce underspins, and those ones, the 5/0s eat a lot of those. So, but I could fit those in a bin. But we're just going to keep going with, I think what I'm doing now is 2, 3, 4/0s in the medium sized bins. And then anything smaller in the small bins, which I've already run out of room in the small bins already. I've already filled all those. So I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing, and then we'll come back and wrap this up, and we'll talk about exactly what I'm going to do. All right, guys, so I just found another whole container full of hooks. These are some very big swim bait hooks that I knew I had. 9/0, 7/0, 8/0, 6/0. These are some really big, just straight shank hooks. 8/0, 9/0, some really big hooks that I knew that I had. So really now what I need to do is I need to tally up all of the hook sizes of that category, like the extra large hooks, right? Like we'll say 5/0, 6/0 through 9/0 is the biggest I think I've found so far. But I also forgot that I had all these Victory 10777. I've got 2/0. I've got 3/0. I've got 4/0. I've got 2 packages of each of those. I'm thinking the next 3 drawers that come out that get finished, they're actually on the printer right now. I'm going to go ahead and put these do-it ones in there. That'll get rid of those. And then I've got a whole bunch. So I'm going to actually go ahead and put all these giant hooks, 8, 9s, 7s, 8s, 6s. I'm going to put all the bigger ones in this bin for now, and then I'm going to keep it off to the side so I can do a tally. But I need to go through this side. So I didn't even know I had these Eagle Claw 630s. I've got size 3/0, 4/0, 2/0. I've got some more Victory 10886 BN 4/0. I've got some 10886 3/0. Whole bunch of 3/0. That's looks like 100 there. I've got some Victory 10746 BN 5/0. I've got just so many 1/0, 5/0. There's a whole bunch of different sizes in here. So I think that's where those came from. And here's some 7/0 that I'm going to leave in here because those are bigger hooks. Here's another bag of 4/0, different style. So I have quite a few. Some 5/0 there. That'll probably go in a regular bag. Like I said, that's 7. Here's another bag of Mustad specials. These are 1/0, 90 degrees. Here's some more 8/0, and here's some more 9/0. So all the giant hooks I'm going to put in here. I think I'm going to leave my not those. I'm going to leave my 604 5/0 there, but I'm going to go ahead and get these 6/0, 7/0, 8/0, and I'm pretty sure the rest of those are smaller. That's 4, 5. That's 3, 4, 5. That one does have some 6 and big ones in the back. It's got some 8/0 back there, so I may include those. I'm going to include these 2, or these 3 really. 5, 6, and 8. 6 and 8 I'm going to put in here. 5 I'm going to keep out. So I'm going to keep the 5s in with the regular. I know everything out here now is less than 5/0, almost positive, because when I stacked them on the wall, I put them as 5/0. 4/0, 5/0, right? So I'm going to leave those just like that. But this is all my 6+ right there. Oh, actually, there's one more right here. 7/0 Victory. I'm going to put that here. So that's all my giant ones. That's all 6/0 through 9/0. I'm going to leave all that stuff down there. And then I'm just going to kind of go through these and organize. Like I said, I've got these Eagle Claw 2/0, 3/0, 4/0. I'm going to go ahead and put those in the next set of bins. So I'm going to go ahead and have probably today, I don't know if I'll get a picture of it before the end of the day or not, but I will have this one done. I'll put the Do-Its in there, and then I'll have this one done. I'll put these Eagle Claws in there to get those off the table. And then I'll have to sit here and figure out how many more bins I'm going to need for all these medium style hooks. So here's another bag of 5/0. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put those in a bin. Probably I'm going to do that in a bin. So again, just trying to stay on top of it. There's a lot of onesie twosie hooks that I bought, like checked sizes, like diameter of the wire and that kind of stuff, and I use them for different odds and ends projects that I was doing around here, trying them in different molds, that kind of thing. So there's a little bit of that in here, but a lot of it is just stuff I use for a lot of different molds. Here's 5/0. That's a lot of 5/0. That might have to go into a bin because that's just way too many to go into one of these. I'm going to have to get a big bin for that. So I'm going to go ahead and put those down with the bigger hook stuff. The rest of these 5/0 will fit in a bin, no problems. I don't think that's going to be an issue. I think 2 of these should fit in one of those drawers, no problem. So yeah, so now I've got it all laid out. I know how many small bins. I need one more row of small bins on the very bottom. I've got the 7 things here. I'm going to do one that's got two sections in it. And I may even do, I've got a couple here that are kind of odds and ends small. That's a 1/0, 1/0. I may do a couple of these like together if I've got 2 of the same type over here, which I do. So I can combine 2 into one drawer, 2 into one drawer. These are Eagle Claw 500, so I can put that into one drawer. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 7 small bins for those. The rest of these can go into some medium-sized bins, the ones up there. Although these 2 of these could probably go 2/0, 4/0. They could, no, I'll put them in the bigger bins. So 1 row of small ones with 1, 2, 3 of the double containers, the separator in the drawer. So I need to just keep track of that. I probably should have a notebook out here keeping track of this. I'll write it down after. And then I'm going to do at least probably 1 more row of these, if not 2, because I'm going to have, let's see, these 3 will be this one. These 3 will be this one. Then I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 more. So 15 more will be 5 more of those bins. So yeah, so I'll probably do 2 more here and 1 more row across. That'll give me, because this will give me 15 bins right there. And that'll probably do it for those. But then I've also got those up there too. So probably another whole row, because that's going to be 1, 2, 3 at least. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 we'll say. So that's 1, 2, 3 of those. And then 1, 2, 3 of those. So, and that bag back there is actually really, that's a lot of 5/0. So I don't know, I may put that in a bigger one. So yeah, so we'll have to do at least 2 more rows of these, at least 2 more rows. So I've got a lot of printing to do. So again, I'm just trying to get ahead of myself as much as I possibly can. I'm probably gonna, before I leave today, I know I'll have, this one will be done. It's actually probably another half an hour before it's finished. And then I'll probably get one more done today before I leave. And then the rest of these I'm going to have to just work on a little bit at a time. And then I'll have to start printing up the low ones too. So I'm probably going to have to recruit my kids to start coming down here and changing stuff over on the 3D printer for me, because I'm probably going to be running this thing even when I'm gone. I'm going to be gone for work for a little bit. So, but anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Really enjoyed doing this organizational stuff. Get a little bit more FaceTime with you. I kind of like doing this type video, and you know, show you what we can organize. The great thing about this stuff, though, guys, is you can pull these bins out, and I could just, you know, I had to use a different color gray on one of these, but I don't really care. I mean, if they're mix and match, I really don't care. I'm not wasting the plastic. That's why I did it, because I had a little bit left of the darker gray. So. But I'm going to go ahead and probably order a bunch more plastic for the filament for the 3D printer to do more of these bins. I'm doing black on the outside, gray on the drawers. So I'll probably end up buying a whole bunch more plastic to do those. And then, like I said, we'll just continue. But the beauty of this is I could take these out and put the drawer in another one, right? So if I want to reorganize and have them all like on top of each other, upside down, right now they're grouped into types, okay, right now. I think there's one in here that might be a little bit different. One's, yeah, this Gamakatsu's 291, these are 550s. So just stuff like that, you know what I mean? Like I could group more together when I get everything set up. So, but trying to keep like the sizes a little bit separated, the smaller ones and some types and stuff like that. But I think this is going really well, guys. So we're going to keep doing this. Some more organizational stuff that's coming up. I got a couple of cabinets I need to build. Hint, if you know what I'm talking about, and I'm not going to say any more hints. Maybe you can pick up on what it is. If you think you know what it is, comment below. But I got a cabinet that I've got to build, and I've also actually got 2 or 3 cabinets I got to build, and one of them is going to be for the microwave. I'm actually going to do 2 microwaves. I've got one now. I'm going to go get another one, and we'll run 2 microwaves. But before I do that, I need to run some power. I need to run an electric wire. I need to run a wire from the box over and a dedicated circuit for the 2 microwaves. And I did some math and did some figuring out. And the 2 microwaves that I run wattage-wise, they're pretty low wattage-wise. I would actually be able to run both of them at the same time and still not trip the breaker. So I should be okay as far as safety goes for that. So got some other stuff coming down the pike too. I've got some more, once I get the microwave out of the old box that the ventilation box that I do all my soft plastic stuff in, I'm going to get that all reorganized too, because the microwave's coming out of that cabinet. And I've got some more cool shelving to put into that as well. So some more stuff with Friendcraft and some more stuff with I can't remember the other guy. I want to say it's I can't remember right now, but we'll get to it. We'll get to it. So I've got some more organizational stuff coming up, and hope you guys enjoyed this series. I really enjoyed this series. So thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, remember to keep on baiting.
you.